Every violent revolution, every failed utopia, every mass grave of the 20th century had one thing in common: ideology. Ideology promises heaven but delivers hell. It speaks the language of hope, equality, and justice, but it always ends in oppression, violence, and death. And here's the uncomfortable truth: ideology isn't just history. It's alive, it's growing, and it's the greatest threat to Western civilization right now. So let's uncover why ideology seduces nations, why it always leads to destruction, and how it's pushing us toward political violence today. So, what exactly is ideology? At its core, ideology is a rigid system of thought. It's a lens that pretends to explain everything: history, politics, morality, even human nature. But here's the problem: life is messy, reality is complex, human beings don't fit neatly into categories. Philosophy asks questions, faith seeks wisdom, but ideology claims it already has all the answers. It divides the world into black and white, good versus evil, oppressed versus oppressor, us versus them, and it's all about power. And once you accept ideology, you stop thinking, you simply obey. Modern political ideology really begins with Karl Marx. Marx looked at history and reduced it to one conflict: the oppressed versus the oppressor. His vision of communism promised a utopia, a classless society, fairness, and prosperity for all. But when his ideas were put into practice, the results were catastrophic. The Soviet Union, Mao's China, nations that swore allegiance to Marx's ideology starved millions, imprisoned millions more, and executed dissenters. Every ideology begins with a promise, but that promise always comes at a cost. And the cost is freedom and eventually human life. Look at the 20th century. In the Soviet Union, Stalin's purges wiped out anyone who dared to think differently. Tens of millions dead in the name of progress. In China, Mao's Cultural Revolution destroyed tradition, family, and faith. Ideology turned neighbor against neighbor. Starvation claimed the lives of countless millions. North Korea is ideology frozen in time. A nation turned into a prison camp where loyalty to the state replaces loyalty to God, family, or truth. And it wasn't just communism. Fascism, too, promised a rebirth of national pride, but delivered gas chambers, war, and ruin. Different masks, but the same pattern. Ideology demands obedience, and it always ends in blood. Now, some people might say, well, that was then. We've learned our lesson. But have we? Look around the West today. Ideological thinking is everywhere, on the left and on the right. Politics is no longer about truth. It's about loyalty to the tribe. Universities silence opposing voices. Social media rewards outrage instead of reason. Opponents aren't just wrong anymore, they're evil. And evil must be destroyed. That's the seed of political violence. We've already seen it boiling over. People radicalize not by facts but by ideology. When men stop seeing their opponents as human, violence becomes inevitable. That's why this matters right now. The same poison that destroyed nations in the past is eating away at ours. But why does ideology have so much power? Because it offers something we crave: certainty. Life is complicated. The world feels chaotic. People are lonely, confused, and searching for meaning. Ideology swoops in with simple answers. Here's who you are, here's who the enemy is, here's why you suffer, and here's who to blame. It gives people identity, belonging, and purpose, but at a price. Because once you surrender your mind to ideology, you stop questioning, you stop thinking, you trade freedom for certainty. And the moment you stop thinking for yourself, you're capable of anything, even violence. So what is the answer? The antidote to ideology is truth, and truth requires courage. It means asking questions instead of repeating slogans. It means seeking wisdom in philosophy, faith, and history instead of dogma. It means carrying responsibility instead of blaming the world. Western civilization was built on free thought, open debate, and the pursuit of truth. The moment we abandon that, We're no different from the regimes that murdered in the name of ideology. Civilizations don't collapse because of bombs alone. They collapse when truth is replaced by ideology. The last century proved it with rivers of blood, and if we ignore that lesson, we will suffer the same fate. How quickly people forget history. 100 million people died in the name of the communist social experiment. The question is, will we learn or will we repeat history? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to The Gentleman Mindset for more videos about masculinity, wisdom, faith, wealth, and lifestyle. Because in a world drowning in ideology, the search for truth has never been more important. Thank you.